Have you ever felt that strange mix of pride and heartbreak? The kind that makes your chest tighten, your eyes blur, and your heart whisper, "I'll never forget this moment," because that's what every ARMY felt when Jin Jimin and the entire BTS family stood together one last time on that glowing stage, under the blinding lights of Jin's final concert, Run Seokjin Tour 2025. Before we dive into this emotional journey, make sure to subscribe for more BTS stories that touch your heart, because this one is going to stay with you forever. Purple Heart. It wasn't just a concert. It was a goodbye wrapped in love. It was laughter, tears, and a million purple hearts beating as one. The night begins. The stadium was trembling with sound. Thousands of voices singing, crying, and chanting, "Kim Seokjin." The lights flashed like stars, and suddenly the music began. The screen lit up with Jin's smile. That same warm smile ARMY had missed for so long. The sound of Idol hit the air, and Jimin appeared beside him. His voice strong, his dance sharp, his eyes full of emotion. They looked at each other, and for a moment, they weren't global icons. They were brothers. Jimin grinned, whispering, "Young, let's give them everything tonight." Jin nodded, laughing softly. "You always say that. Let's make it unforgettable." And they did. Idol, the power of pride. As Idol filled the air, every ARMY in the crowd screamed every lyric like a prayer. The stage shook with energy, Jin's voice powerful, confident, echoing through every soul there. He sang with a kind of joy that only comes from someone who knows this is his final stage, but refuses to let it feel like an ending. Jimin moved like fire beside him, his smile bright but eyes shimmering. He was holding back tears, you could tell. And when Jin hit that final note, the screen zoomed in, his face glistening with sweat and something else. Pride. He raised his hand to the crowd and shouted, "ARMY, you made me who I am." The stadium erupted. It was no longer just a performance. It was a love letter. So What? The song that broke the silence. Then came So What? The beat dropped, the lights went wild, and ARMYs jumped, screamed, cried, and smiled all at once. But this time there was something different in the air. Jin didn't just sing. He lived every word. "So what if I get hurt? So what if I fall?" His voice rang out, trembling but fierce. Jimin joined in, their voices blending perfectly. One soft and angelic, one strong and raw. They weren't just performing anymore. They were talking to ARMY, reminding everyone that even pain can be beautiful when shared. Between lines, Jin looked around, at the sea of purple lightsticks, at the faces shining with tears. He whispered almost to himself, This is home. My universe." When the stars aligned. Then, as the screen went dark, soft piano notes began to play. "My universe." The crowd gasped. It wasn't just BTS anymore. It was Jin, Jimin, and a galaxy of memories unfolding before every fan's eyes. The lights dimmed to purple and silver, like stars floating above the stage. Jin began the song softly, his voice shaking on the first line. Jimin looked at him with that brotherly tenderness only he could show. When the chorus came, Jin turned to the crowd, raised his mic, and let ARMY sing it back to him. You are my universe." Jin smiled, that soft, bittersweet smile, and mouthed, "No, ARMY, you are mine." Tears rolled down faces everywhere. Even Jimin's eyes were wet as he sang his harmony beside Jin. The fancam moment that went viral. Somewhere in the crowd, a fan recorded what would become one of the most shared fancams in BTS history. Jin and Jimin standing under falling confetti, arms around each other, heads bowed, whispering something no mic could catch. Later, ARMYs slowed down the clip, lip-reading, analyzing every word. And when they realized Jin had said, "Take care of them when I'm gone," the fandom broke. It wasn't a goodbye filled with sadness. It was a promise. A promise between brothers, between artists, between the fans who never stopped believing. That one clip, 30 seconds long, told more than any speech could. The silence after the song. When My Universe ended, The music faded into silence. Jin stood there, eyes closed, hands over his heart. Then he slowly looked up. "ARMY," he said softly. "You gave me everything. Thank you. For waiting, for loving, for never letting go." Jimin couldn't hold it in anymore. He hugged Jin tightly. "Hyung, don't make us cry on stage," he laughed through his tears. But they both cried anyway. The crowd chanted their names again and again. Jin, Jimin, BTS, until their voices cracked, until the world itself seemed to echo it back. The Run Seokjin Tour 2025, the final bow. As the concert neared its end, Jin looked at the other members standing in the shadows. Namjoon, Yoongi, Hobi, Taehyung, Jungkook, all watching proudly. One by one they joined him on stage. The crowd screamed louder than ever before. Jin looked at them all, eyes full of gratitude, and said, "Let's run one last time together." They formed their classic line, hands linked, and together shouted, "Bangtan Sonyeondan, ARMY, we love you." They bowed deeply, the kind of bow that comes from the heart. Confetti rained down, music swelled, and for a moment time froze. After the lights went out, when the lights finally dimmed and the crowd began to leave, Jin stayed back for a moment, just looking at the empty stage. He smiled to himself and whispered, "I'll be back." And somewhere in the distance, armies were still singing softly, You are my universe." The echoes of that night will live forever. Ending a message for ARMY. And maybe that's what being part of ARMY truly means. To laugh, to cry, to hold on, even when the music stops. Because BTS isn't just a band. They're a promise. A bond between 7 boys and millions of hearts that beat in sync, no matter where they are. So if this story touched your heart, hit that subscribe button and join us for more BTS moments that remind us what love, family, and music truly mean. Until next time, keep your heart purple. And never forget, you are their universe and they are yours. Purple Heart.